Not gonna lose. This is what I came here to do. I walk that wire and I take that step. Won't look down, got no regrets. Won't look down, got no regrets. I was made for this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Common Sense with Chief Culp. Thank you for joining me tonight. On tonight's show, I'm going to talk about all of us insubordinate deplorables, terrorism, the Gong Show, that is our federal government, and the two amendments to the Constitution that are key to restoring our long-lost constitutional government and restoring individual freedom and liberty back to we the people where it belongs, right? That's where it belongs. Thank you all for a great weekend. I was in Tri-Cities Friday to announce my run for Congress in the 4th Congressional District against the turncoat Newhouse. Thank you all who came out to that event. I also spoke at the Snohomish County Republican Party meeting in Woodinville and had a couple book signings after that in Skagit County. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Thank you, Shannon, and everybody who helped out with that. It was a great weekend. Thanks for all the support at all of these events. It was absolutely incredible. And thank you all for your support of this show's sponsor, MinutemenCoffee.com, a veteran-owned and operated coffee business right here in Washington State. So thank you for supporting Minutemen. With your coffee purchases, don't forget to enter the promo code CULP, all capitals, and get 15% off. So, being called an insubordinate was supposed to be a put down, remember, by Inslee? Just like when Hillary called us deplorables, it backfired on her and it backfired on him. I wear the insubordinate badge as a badge of honor, the label insubordinate. And I know most of you do too, because we have to remember that, and let me get comments going here. Click the comment field. Okay, there we go. I'm running everything on my own now. I have reached the social media level that I'm able to broadcast myself. Thank you, Christopher Gergen, for showing me how to do all this. So it's all brand new to me. This is only the second show that I've done. Usually Chris broadcasts this show for me, but we're learning things every day here. And as you can tell, I'm still a little bit sunburnt, but it's mostly turning into a tan, right, from my ride down in the desert not too long ago. So I'll be answering questions later on in the show. So if you have any, go ahead and type them in there and I'll see if I can't find them. But the claim from Inslee that we were insubordinate because we didn't abide by his edicts, I kind of wear that as a badge of honor, just like most of you, because we have to remember people's place, right? We have to remember that public servants are not our superiors. They're not our boss. We don't serve them, right? In fact, exactly the opposite is true, but most of them forget that. They serve us. We don't serve them. That's where the phrase public servant comes from. They are the servants. And when they don't follow the rule of law, which is the Constitution, then they are the ones who are being insubordinate. Right? So when public servants call we the people insubordinate, it shows their complete and total ignorance to how our system of government was set up. The more that they try to put us into a box like that, whether it's Hillary, whether it was Inslee, the more people wake up and the more that we fight back, right? The mainstream media, it talks about MAGA terrorism. You know, words matter, but you never hear about BLM or Antifa terrorism, right? Just MAGA. While Antifa and Black Lives Matter burned down our cities, assaulted police officers, murdered and assaulted citizens, and closed down hundreds of businesses all across the United States, the mainstream media was pretty much silent. You know, we heard mostly peaceful and summer of love. That's how it was described. And we can't let them control the narrative, right? Politicians on the left supported it. And some even called for donations to bail these criminals out of jail because they were arrested for committing crimes. And they do that because they hate America and they love Marxism. They hate the working class, and they're doing anything and everything they can to eliminate and make us dependent on the government. Do any of you think that it's a coincidence that many people can make more money right now on unemployment than by actually working in a job? It's not a coincidence at all. Dependence on the government makes us a good subject or a good serf. We are neither one of those things, and we shouldn't stand for it. I believe that in 2022, we are going to restore America and get rid of the current Gong Show that's in charge right now. Our Constitution did not create a government that touched every aspect of our lives and our businesses that it's doing right now. It created exactly the opposite. Career politicians created the monstrosity that we have now in the federal and the state government. Our founders created a limited government, and we need people in office who understand that, right? We need people who want to expand individual freedom and liberty and make government smaller. Expanding freedom and liberty and limiting the government intervention into every aspect of our lives that's what our founders fought and died for. I remember when I was running for governor in 2020, I was asked all the time by people from different groups, you know, what are you going to do for my group or my organization that represents these people or those people? My answer was the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing for everyone. Get government back within the confines of the rule book, the Constitution, so that everyone benefits from a smaller, more efficient government. That was my answer. If we have a government that can give us everything that we want, it's a government that can take all of it just the same, right? We don't want that. We don't want a government with that much power. Dictatorships have that much power. Because the Constitution has been disregarded for so long, we have a government that is like a giant octopus with new tentacles and arms growing out and wrapping itself around our lives. There is very little that our government isn't involved in our lives. We, the people, want to be masters of our lives and our businesses and our children. We don't want to be subjects. We don't want to be cannon fodder in the next political conflict. We don't want a government that can tell us to shut down your business while leaving big businesses down the street open. That makes absolutely no sense. I don't want a government that has that kind of power. Do you? We want our freedoms, and we want our government off our backs and out of our pockets. The key to achieving this is public servants who follow their oath of office, which is to uphold and defend the Constitution to include the 9th and 10th Amendments. The 9th and 10th Amendments aren't talked about very much, but they are key to a smaller, less intrusive, less abusive government. So I have something that I pack around with me a lot. This is the Constitution of the United States of America. And the 9th and 10th Amendments aren't talked about very much. So I'm going to read the 9th and 10th Amendments. Here's the 9th Amendment. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. That's meaning that just because it's not written in here doesn't mean that the citizens don't have those rights. Agreed? And then the 10th Amendment. The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. So the Constitution gives our federal government power. You know, have 50 sovereign states right now, and the federal government is given power by we the people, by the states, to do certain things. And they are outlined. They're enumerated in the Constitution. That's the job of the federal government right there. And the 10th Amendment says if it's not written in here for the federal government to do, it's left to the states or the people. That's it. Don't you wish this was taught in school? That's the key to getting our government back under control. I implore each and every one of you to get involved, get active. We can't sit on the sidelines and expect someone else to come to our rescue, right? We are Americans. This is America. Who else is going to come to our rescue? We are the ones who have to do something, and that something is get involved. Become a PCO. Run for office. Support conservative candidates. Turn out to rallies. We should be damn pissed off. I am. And we need to focus that anger on making sure that, first of all, we don't just sit idle. And second of it all, we make sure that every rhino is removed from office and replaced with true conservatives. Pounding away on the keyboard on social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or any of the others, it isn't going to cut it. At the very least, become a PCO, a precinct committee officer. Call the chair or anyone you know in your area that is involved in the Republican Party. Tell them that you want to be a PCO. There's a ton of PCO positions that are not filled, and the county chair of your county can appoint PCOs. It's very important. We have to be active. The gloves are off on the left, right? They're not sitting on the sidelines. They're pushing hard for their goal of Marxism, communism, socialism, or whatever ism they want to call it in the moment. But it's un-American, right? We need to be active. They're going big. Biden's shredding the Constitution with his executive orders. They're coming after our firearms, coming after our rights. Pelosi, Schumer, AOC, and the rest are pushing hard for socialism. We have to push back harder for freedom and liberty. They are pushing their radical agenda in the federal government with a slim margin, right? They got, with the vice president, they have 51-50 in the Senate. They've only got a margin of 10 in the House. We have to take back the House and the Senate in 22, and I believe it's going to happen. I believe it is going to happen. Statewide races, I've said this many times, forget about it. When we're local races, we can keep tabs on things that are going on. We do that by being active right now. We can't continue down this road where we have radicals calling the shots and ramming Marxism down our throats in the schools to our kids, and rhinos who make deals and go along with the left's agenda just to get along or keep themselves on the gravy train by voting to impeach. This isn't anything more than saving America, saving our country. Our founders answered the call to birth this nation against the most powerful military force in the world at the time. Right here, right now, we are being called to stand up for what we were given. If we don't, who will? There's nobody to call. There's no 911 for it. Where are we going to go if America falls to the socialists like so many other countries have? What kind of country are we going to be leaving for our children and our grandchildren? America is the last best hope. So let's do what we do. That's my commentary for tonight. And let's see if we have any questions. So got my computer right down here, not ignoring you. Debbie says control. Yes, that's what it's about. Patty asks, who will run for governor? Well, governor is in 2024, and term in Congress is 2 years. I'm not saying I'm going to run for governor in 2024, but we will see. Let's see. Boy, things are moving a little fast here. I've got all the feeds from Facebook, 2 Facebook sites, and YouTube all going on here at the same time. So they move kind of fast. I'm trying to catch one here. Let's see. Okay, Brad asks, where can we get a copy of the document you have in your hand? Well, I'll tell you something. You can buy these pretty much anywhere on the interweb. I know for a fact that Dawn at Minutemen Coffee sends out a copy of the Constitution every order of coffee that I've gotten. So you might check there. Very important to have, but I mean, you can also look it up on the internet as well and read the Constitution. Very important that we know. You know, I would love to see civics brought back in a big way into the classroom, starting at a very young age. You know, and instead of teaching our children to hate America and point out everything that's wrong in the history of it, we need people to understand their rights, understand the Constitution, understand the role of public servants, and to love our country with all its warts. We've learned from everything, right? That's like everybody's life, right? It's not perfect. There's blemishes on everybody's life, but you learn from it, you correct your mistakes, and you move on. That's a great thing about America. Let's see, take a couple more questions. Ruth says she got hers at church. That's awesome. That's a great church. But they are available, and like I said, you can do an internet search and read the Constitution there too. Carol says they will tax us out of our property if we don't speak up. Yes, they will. They will tax us out of our property. They'll tax us out of our income. Private property rights are not a strong point for the socialists, right? That's one of the basic fundamentals that our founders set up, was the right of private property. And that includes your income. All right. Let's see. Daniel made a comment, what the government gives you, they can take it away. That is absolutely true. If they have the power to give you stuff, they have the power to take it away. Let's see. We don't have voter integrity. Okay, Rick, excellent question from Rick Walsh. How do any plans matter if we do not have voter integrity? Voter integrity is very, very important, right? And I said it a little bit earlier, and I've said it on other shows, that until we go back to in-person voting, you know, where you show up, you show your ID, they check your ID and your name with the voter rolls, and they hand you one ballot, you go fill it out, and you put it in the drop box. Until we go back to that, statewide voting, forget about it. We will not have a conservative win until we go back to in-person voting and get control over our voting. But the smaller races, county commissioner, school board, county sheriff, very important, by the way. Local races like legislature, state senate, congressional races. They're smaller areas. They're easier to keep an eye on things that are going on in the voting process. So we definitely have to get back to in-person voting. There has not been a Republican governor in 40 years in Washington state. And that, I believe, is because of all the shenanigans that go on. When you have mail-in voting, you have so many ways that things can be skewed. Things can be done, right? There is no security, right? There's not a chain of custody with ballots. When they're sent out, nobody knows who's touching it. Nobody knows who gets it. Nobody knows who fills it out. Nobody knows who drops it off. Chain of custody, very important. But the smaller races, like I said, Rich, we're able to keep a closer eye on things. There's not so many hands involved. There's not so many people involved. So that's what we need to focus on is local races, school board. How much can you change by being on the school board, right? A bunch of patriotic people get on the school board. They affect our future. We need that. We need county commissioners and the others, like I said. So thank you for that question, Rick. Let's see. I'm still new with this software. Making sure I don't hit the wrong button. Wouldn't that be terrible? Yes. Okay. Mark, check out the 10th Amendment Center. Absolutely. You can find them on the internet. 10th Amendment Center, based around all the things that the government should not be doing. Check that out. Let's see. My church has these. I have one, Loren. It sits by my computer. Ruth, that is awesome. Yeah, you guys need to find and have a copy of the Constitution. Let's see. Lots of comments, not seeing many questions. Okay, Nicholas, you have an outstanding book called American Cop, and you're a wonderful chief of police in Republic of Washington and a wonderful, great person, Loren Culp. Oh, well, thank you very much, Nicholas. I'm no longer the chief of police in Republic. I retired right before the election. The majority of the city council voted to go with the contract with the county, even though Ferry County is way understaffed. They did away with that, did away with my job. So I told the mayor, well, I'm just going to retire. I'm 60 years old. I'm not going to try to integrate with another department. So I retired, and I also wrote another book. I don't know if you know about that, but it is called An Insubordinate Life. And that is available at chiefculp.com. That just came out. So let's see. Sean said, are you running for congressional seat District 4? If so, are you running against Jared Sessler, not a conservative? Whoever's in the race, I suppose so. When I ran for governor, there were 36 candidates. So, it's not like the line at the King's Table buffet. Whoever thinks they can do a good job throws their hat in the ring, and the voters decide. So that's what I think about that. Carol, yes, speak at your city and county council meetings. Definitely. We need to let our voices be heard. We need to let our public servants know what we think and what we expect of them. Be respectful, but don't be shy. Let them know. They are our employees. right? They work for us. We don't work for them. A lot of them get into office and they think that, oh, well, gee, I'm really important now. They're public servants. I don't care if it's a congressman, a senator, state legislator. They are public servants. They work for we the people. So don't be afraid to let your employee know what you expect of them, right? All right, let's see. Hi, Casey. Here's a comment from Anna. Anna Wood, get off your behind and stand up tall. Absolutely. We need to stand up. We need to let our voices be heard. Let's see. Delinda says, can I get copies of the Constitution for people to order through me? You know, that is a very good idea. I should have these pocket constitutions so people can order them at chiefculp.com. Good idea. Delinda, thank you for that. I will see what we can do about that. Probably one or two more questions. Good evening, Diane. Thank you, Ruth. Ruth Wright, is your book at Barnes & Nobles? No, my book is not anywhere except for chiefculp.com, where you can get it autographed. I did not put it on Amazon, and my publisher would like to see it on there. I was holding off, but the thing about Amazon, love them and hate them, right? Their politics suck, but they are so convenient for people to get things quickly. I probably will continue that conversation with my publisher and get it out so that it's more available. Let's see here. Oh, and I will be traveling around the state. Shannon Halls is going to be helping me with book signing events all around this state. If you know of someone in your area who has a venue for a book signing, you can email Shannon at, her email is shannon@chiefculp.com. So send her an email if you know someplace where you would like to have a book signing, and if you know of a venue that we could contact to do that, that would be awesome. Like I said, I did 2 over in Skagit County over the weekend, and the turnout was absolutely fantastic. You guys, I mean, it's very humbling to see the support and to get the hugs and the pictures and everything. It's just amazing. And I thank you all for the support. You know, American Cop, I wrote that in 2018. You know, standing up for citizens' rights, standing up for our rights, knowing what our rights are. That was what American Cop was all about. And to this day, you know, it became a #1 bestseller. And to this day, I'm just amazed at how much support it's gotten, how far spread it is. So thank you all for that. Let's see. Rebecca, parents get involved with your school meetings. Absolutely. We have to, right? They are teaching your children. So make sure that they are teaching your children what you want them to teach. And if they're not, run for school board. Let's see. One more. I just missed one. I think it was Sharon asked if I was going to be in Skagit soon. I don't know about how soon, but we're scheduling things right now. Remember, if anybody knows of a venue where you would like to see us come for a book signing, email Shannon@chiefculp.com. When are you going to be in Aberdeen again? Oh, I just lost that. I don't know who did that, but in Aberdeen. I know for sure I'm going to be on the west side the end of next month because I'm joining the end of watch ride. JC, it's a rolling memorial for our fallen law enforcement officers, a rolling memorial. Think about that, right? 328 police officers lost their lives in the line of duty in 2020. Do you hear about that on the news all the time? 328 police officers died in the line of duty. And I'm honored that they invited me to ride along on the Harley-Davidson escort to escort that rolling memorial. I believe it's to 6 different locations in Washington State to honor officers of those departments that lost their life. And then that ride is going to continue. I'm going to be on that ride for a few days. And then the ride is going to continue all across the United States. It's going to last for over 2 months. 2 months. They're going to every department that lost an officer to visit with the families and take this rolling memorial, which is a huge, huge trailer that has every picture of every officer and their name and their end of watch date on this trailer. And it's just absolutely humbling to see that. But be sure to check that out. End of watch ride. Search on the internet. I don't have their website right up here in front of me, but I believe it's endofwatchride.com. Might check it out. But come out and support that, and support our law enforcement, our brothers in blue and our sisters in blue that have lost their life, and the ones that are still out there working every single day to make us safe, right? Defund the police. What a bunch of idiots. Okay. Go back to Lewis County. I will as soon as we can. All right, you guys. JC Rocks, roll on, very proud. Oh, hey, I know this guy. That's my brother, Wade. Thanks for being on here, Wade. Wade helped with the drive-in this weekend and helped to facilitate the book signings, along with Shannon and Keith and his wife. Thank you all very much. So I think that's about it, you guys. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you next Tuesday night at 7 p.m., if not before, right? I've kind of been known to do a live here and there. May God once again bless the United States of America. Don't forget, get your coffee at minutemencoffee.com. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. God bless you. And I will see you on the road very soon. Good night.